It's qualifying time at Spa, one of the mightiest tracks on the Formula One calendar. Long straights, up and downhill, Eau Rouge as well. This track isn't for the faint-hearted. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are...
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy.
It looks like you've invested heavily in the development of new parts. Are you feeling confident that you can take your qualifying pace into the... Do you feel that you don't need to practice? You left some bodywork out there on the track. Were you struggling for...
Appreciate your time.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
We should be in with a good chance in the race.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Anthony Davidson is alongside me in the commentary box to take you through all the action today. Now, it's a closely matched field here in Spa, so where do you think we're going to see somebody make a difference?
If they're as close as we're expecting them to be, especially through the midfield, then being able to keep the front tyres in good condition could make the difference. You always lose a chunk of downforce at the front when you're in the turbulent air of another car, which tends to cause understeer, which in turn causes front tyre degradation. Now, too much damage there could force an early pit stop and put you at a slight disadvantage, so the drivers will want to be careful not to be too aggressive early on in the Grand Prix.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Varsandi lines up on pole position, edging out Raikkonen, who'll start P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Vettel, Ocon, Bottas, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, Alonso, Ericsson, Kevin Magnussen and Stroll, Van Dorn, Grosjean, Sergei Sirotkin and Brendan Hartley. Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, La Source is always pretty tight, but we've got a clear road. Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap. Radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs. Brilliant. Nice move. Green flag. Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Pit window open. Let's box this lap. Gap to teammate behind is 10.8 seconds. okay, I'm sure you can feel it already, but we're starting to notice some tyre wear now. They should be good for a while longer though. Don't forget, box this lap. Brendan is in the pits. The gap behind us is 2.8 seconds. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, the gap behind is 3.4 seconds. We're happy with the current tyre condition. They should last a while yet, so don't worry about them. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. We're leading our teammate by 27.7 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. Nice work, that's P1. Race win. Well done.
Brilliant stuff from Toro Rosso today. What a superb victory. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres. But at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else. And that's exactly what they had today.
And it's time now for the podium celebrations, and how well deserved is this one? This is a team all about giving talented young drivers an opportunity to race and to win. Toro Rosso are your winners here today. Now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Varsandi increases their championship lead. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Probably Carlos Sainz.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy.
How are you feeling after that win? Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race. What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend? You're beating all expectations. Would you say we...
Great. Well, that's everything.